Did you know that the Pope tried to ban a weapon of mass destruction? No, not this Pope, and not this weapon, but Pope Innocentius II tried to ban this weapon of mass destruction. A crossbow. Yes, you heard that right. This is or was considered a weapon of mass destruction in 1139 because it was too deadly and immoral for Christians to use. He wasn't successful though. The technology and weaponry advanced even more. Fast forward to today, and the battlefield has transformed. Now, we grapple with weapons that can erase cities, even civilizations, in the blink of an eye. From the humble beginnings of the crossbow to the chilling reality of nuclear weapons, the quest for arms control is a story as old as time, filled with hopes, failures, and the unending pursuit to safeguard humanity from its own creations. You will discover the thin line between peace and annihilation today. Back in the day, when knights in shining armor roamed the earth, a weapon like the crossbow was the most terrifying thing on the battlefield. But the Pope said no more and tried to ban them, thinking he could stop the bloodshed. Think about it. Even back then, the world knew weapons could get too deadly. But did it work? Not a chance. Fast forward to the present, and we're facing threats that the bravest knights couldn't even dream of. Drones silently striking in the night through Yemen's skies, and cyber attacks that can take down a country's power grid without firing a single bullet. Attacks from a hacker's keyboard. The stakes have only gotten higher, and the world's been in a mad dash, trying to keep the lid on Pandora's box of modern weaponry. From the shadowy days of the Cold War, where nuclear doom hung over our heads, to the digital battlefields of today, the quest to control arms has been a saga of fear, hope, and desperation. Treaties have been signed, like the Grand Non-Proliferation Treaty, in hopes of keeping nukes in check. But as the tech evolved, so did the ways to wage war. Now, we're not just dodging bullets, we're dodging tweets that could trigger cyber wars. The battlefields have changed, but the game remains the same. A high-stakes poker game where every play could mean the difference between peace and annihilation. With each leap in technology, from nerve-wracking nuclear standoffs to drones that pick their targets, humanity has been forced to reckon with the power at its fingertips. The race for arms control is more than just a battle of wits. It's a desperate scramble to ensure our survival in a world where the next big weapon could be the last. As we dive deeper into the annals of history, we find ourselves in a perpetual cycle of innovation and fear. Every new weapon promises security but delivers new nightmares, forcing nations into an endless dance of power and paranoia. The evolution of arms control is not just a story of treaties and laws, it's a testament to humanity's enduring quest to find a sliver of safety in a world armed to the teeth. Can we break the cycle, or are we doomed to a future where the shadow of destruction looms larger with each passing day? Don't stop watching, you will find out. In our modern world, the deadliest weapons aren't always the biggest or the loudest. A silent drone can carry out a deadly strike from miles away, invisible and unstoppable. Cyber warfare can paralyze a nation, turning off lights, emptying bank accounts, and halting life as we know it, all without making a sound. The battlefields have expanded from the physical to the virtual, from the deserts of Syria to the rugged terrains of Afghanistan, where the rules of war are rewritten by each new tool of destruction. Keeping pace with these advances is like running on a treadmill that's always speeding up. For every step we take in controlling these weapons, technological innovations takes another leap forward, leaving us grappling with the moral, legal, and ethical quandaries they present. Don't miss out on our next deep dive. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that could help shape a better future for us all. The specter of nuclear war is a shadow that hangs over the world, a dark cloud reminding us of the fragility of peace. Countries like North Korea, with their missile tests, and Iran with their nuclear ambitions, stand on the precipice where a single misstep could lead to unthinkable destruction. The global community watches, holding its breath, caught between the desire to disarm and the fear of leaving themselves vulnerable. The nuclear issue is a puzzle with no easy solutions, a labyrinth of treaties, threats, and diplomacy, where stakes are nothing less than the survival of humanity itself. A world where the push of a button could turn cities into ashes, whether on the decisions of a few. That's the world we live in, folks. a world where nuclear weapons cast a long, menacing shadow over our very existence. The debate rages on, with some arguing that these ultimate weapons of destruction keep the peace through fear, a chilling balance called mutual assured destruction. It's like a high-stakes game of chicken, where nobody wants to blink first for fear of ending everything. On the flip side, there are those who cry out for disarmament, warning that the more nukes we have, the higher the chance of an apocalyptic mistake, or a madman's rage turning the world into a radioactive wasteland. But here's the kicker. Getting rid of nuclear weapons is like trying to uninvent the monster under the bed. Once the genie's out of the bottle, there's no putting it back. Countries that have them don't want to give them up, fearing they'll be left vulnerable. And those without want their own, aiming for a seat at the table of global power. It's a twisted dance of deterrence and desire that keeps the world teetering on the edge. And let's not forget the newcomers to the nuclear club, rogue nations and unpredictable leaders who throw a whole new level of chaos into the mix. The fear isn't just about old rivals like the US and Russia anymore. It's about a world where nuclear weapons could fall into the hands of those willing to use them without a second thought. So, what's the way out? Is there a path to a world without the specter of nuclear doom hanging over our heads? Or are we destined to live in the shadow of the mushroom cloud? With each technological advance, from missile defenses that promise to shield us to new, more powerful bombs, the nuclear puzzle gets more complicated, more dangerous. The nuclear conundrum isn't just a chapter from the Cold War history book. It's an ongoing thriller, a story of human ingenuity and folly, of our quest for security turning into our greatest peril. As we peer into the abyss, the question looms: can we ever put the nuclear genie back in the bottle? Or are we doomed to a future where the ultimate power means the ultimate risk? The quest for arms control is a roller coaster of highs and lows, a series of victories shadowed by setbacks. There have been moments of triumph, like when the world came together to ban chemical weapons, showing us what's possible when humanity unites for peace. But these successes are often followed by failures. Treaties unravel, new weapons emerge, and the goal of a safer world seems to slip further away. Each step forward in arms control is met with new challenges, from rogue nations defying international norms to technological advancements that outpace our ability to regulate them. It's a never-ending dance, one step forward and two steps back, in the quest to secure a future free from the specter of war. Arms control sits at the crossroads of global politics, where the ambitions and fears of nations collide. It's a world where power is the ultimate prize, and weapons are the currency of influence. From the frozen conflicts of eastern Ukraine to the contested waters of the South China Sea, the struggle for dominance plays out, with arms control efforts caught in the middle. This complex web of interest shows the daunting challenge of forging peace in a world where every nation is playing the long game, balancing the pursuit of security against the risks of escalation. Navigating the path to a world where tomorrow isn't overshadowed by the threat of new weapons is a daunting task, but not an impossible one. With each step forward, from initiatives to curb nuclear proliferation to global agreements banning emerging threats, we see glimmers of hope. The road is fraught with obstacles, from deep-seated rivalries to the dizzying pace of technological change. But the vision of a safer, more peaceful future drives us forward. It's a journey marked by both peril and promise, as the world comes together in the quest to turn back the tide of armament and step into the light of a new day dawning, one where peace isn't just a dream, but a reality for all. Keep dreaming and watch the video on the screen right now. Thank you.